Good morning. This is Good morning. This is New York City Council vote of the Committee on Finance. At this time, please silence your cell phones. If you wish to testify, please come up to the Sergeant at Arms desk to fill out a testimony slip. At this time and going forward, no one is to approach the dais. I repeat, no one is to approach the dais. Chair, we are ready to begin.
Thank you, Sergeant. Okay, good morning and welcome to today's Finance Committee meeting. I'm Councilmember Justin Brannan. I have the privilege of chairing the Committee on Finance. We've been joined this morning by Council Members Ayala, Moya, Powers, Lewis, Brewer, Farias, Hanks, Hudson, Osei, Stevens, Williams, Salam, and Carr. Today, our committee will consider and vote on a number of items. A resolution, prime sponsored by me, to approve a modification of the city's budget pursuant to Charter Section 107E. This resolution would approve a request received from the Director of the Office of Management and Budget to appropriate new city revenues in fiscal year 25 in the amount of $255.6 million as reflected in the city's November financial plan. The new revenues will be used to pay for child care providers, tax lien sale outreach, rental assistance, and partially for cash assistance. Second is introduction number 1090A, prime sponsored by me. It's a local law in relation to authorizing an increase in the amount to be expended annually in 9 business improvement districts, or BIDs. Introduction number 1098. Also, this one's sponsored by Councilmember Powers. It's a local law in relation to increasing the amount to be expended annually in the Madison Avenue Business Improvement District and amending the district plan of such district to change the method of assessment upon which the district charge is based. Resolution number 11, prime sponsored by my good friend Councilmember Crystal Hudson. It's a very important resolution calling upon the United States Congress to pass and the President to sign H.R. 4052, which is the National Infrastructure Bank Act of 2023. And then 5 resolutions, prime sponsored by me as chair of the committee, to approve real property tax exemptions under the private housing finance law in relation to the following projects. 45th Street Partners, The Perennial, Crotona 7, 73 Lower East Side HDFC, and 3044 Albany Crescent. I'm now going to turn it over to Councilmember Hudson for remarks on her legislation, resolution number 11.
I have no remarks at this time.
Oh, sounds good to me. What do we got? Okay, now we're going to hear some testimony from the public. We have Calvin Brown from SBS. We have Matt Bauer from the Madison Avenue BID.
Well, we're just going to quickly swear you in. Will you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee and to respond honestly to council member questions? All right, you may begin.
Good morning, Chair Brennan and members of the Finance Committee. I'm Calvin Brown. I'm the Deputy Commissioner for Neighborhood Development at the Department of Small Business Services. I'm joined today by my colleagues Emily Edwards, the Executive Director of our BID program, as well as Leslie Velasquez, the Director of our BID Development and Legislation. I wish to express the support that SBS has for the laws providing an increase in the amount to be expended in 9 business improvement districts, often referred to as BIDs, as well as the district plan amendment for the Madison Avenue BID. At SBS, we work hard to open the doors for New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, focusing on creating stronger businesses, connecting New Yorkers to jobs, and fostering thriving neighborhoods. We oversee and support the city's network of BIDs and groups who wish to form new BIDs in their communities. We believe BIDs are central to these efforts as valuable and proven partners in fostering the vitality of the city's neighborhoods and commercial districts. The Mayor's Economic Blueprint Plan also places BIDs front and center in several initiatives to rebuild and reinvent our commercial corridors and central business districts. Part of our role in overseeing and supporting the city existing network of 76 bids includes guiding them through the legislative processes, including increases to their assessment caps and amendments to their district plans. To propose an assessment increase or an amendment to the district plan, bids must complete a multi-step review process overseen by SBS. The bid board of directors, which include local property owners, merchants, residents, as well as representatives from the city controller's office, the borough president's office, city council, and SBS, must review and approve the proposed assessment increase or district plan amendment. For the assessment increases, SBS requires bids to submit an in-depth written justification, proof of board approval, and letters of support from city council members represented in the bid's boundaries. SBS then reviews these justifications, bring it to City Council. District plan amendments go through a similar process, plus an additional requirement to host a public meeting to present the plan and allow for stakeholder comments. As required by law, each bid includes, in this bill, publish a notice of this public hearing at least once in a local newspaper having general circulation in the district, specifying the time and place of today's hearing and stating the changes to their assessment amount or district plan. SBS collected records of these notices and confirmed that they were completed on time. It is SBS priority that assessment increase proposals focus on enhancing programs and services provided to the district. Each bid proposing an assessment increase today is doing to address vital needs and conditions that are happening on the ground in their district. The increase will further expand, reinforce, and strengthen core services currently provided in the business district. This may include funds for additional streetscape improvement, greening, beautification, new public events, and/or adding staff capacity. Additionally, proportions of these increases will be used to sustain or increase current levels of sanitation, public safety services impacted by the rising costs related to inflation and the minimum wage increases. The proposed increases vary according to budget size, district size, and the proposed changes in the programs and services. The proposed increases are the 34th Street bid from $13 million to $14,300,000, Times Square bid from $14,347,293 to $17,200,000, North Flatbush Avenue bid from $200,000 to $350,000, the Madison 23rd Flatiron Chelsea bid from $6 million to $9 million, the Bayside Village bid from $230,000 to $430,000, the Fulton Street bid from $500,000 to $800,000, the Hudson Square bid from $3,900,000 to $5,850,000, the Atlantic Avenue bid from $390,000 to $637,000, and the Soho bid from $900,000 to $1,757,934. The Madison Avenue bid is also pursuing an assessment increase from $2,100,000 to $2,520,000 and a district plan amendment to revise the assessment formula to more equitably assess the properties within their district. The proposed amendment will authorize a change in the method of assessment. Currently, the assessment formula is based solely on commercial square footage with varying rates depending on the property's location in the district. The proposed law would amend the formula to add a reduced assessment to resident properties, create a new property class to assess vacant lots, and overall decrease the rate of commercial properties. Representatives from each of the bids named in these laws are present to answer any questions pertaining to specific requests. However, I'm happy to answer any general questions. Thank you.
We've also been joined by Councilmember Powers and Salam. Do any of my colleagues have any questions? Okay, now we'll hear from Mr. Bauer.
Good morning, Chair Brandon and our own Councilmember Powers and members of the Council's Finance Committee. My name is Matt Bauer, and since 1999, I've served as the president of the Madison Avenue bid. The Madison Avenue bid supports the property owners, businesses, and residents of Madison Avenue and its adjacent side streets from East 57th Street in East Midtown north to East 86th Street on the Upper East Side. Our 29-block, 1.5-mile portion of Madison Avenue is known worldwide as a center for fashion, jewelry, fine art, and hospitality. Just this year, Giorgio Armani, Jimmy Choo, and Michael Kors opened new flagships on Madison Avenue. We're also home to Ralph Lauren, Hermes, Manolo Blahnik, De Beers, Versace, Valentino, and Dolce & Gabbana, and 4 of the world's leading hotels, the Carlyle, the Mark, the Lowell, and the Surrey. Though we're an international shopping destination, we also serve as the main street of the Upper East Side community, of our portion of the Upper East Side community, and actually about 60% of our shoppers are local. There's really a distinct sense of camaraderie among the businesses of Madison Avenue, and since 2004, we've held monthly merchant mixers where we exchange ideas, and just this December 7th, we had 76 stores on Madison Avenue donating 20% of their sales to the pediatric programs of Memorial Sloan Kettering for our 38th annual Miracle on Madison Holiday event. We're here before you today, as Deputy Commissioner Brown mentioned, is to request approval for an increase in our assessment cap and to change our assessment formula. After a substantive community outreach and a series of meetings led by our assessment working group, our board of directors ratified both of these items on June 27th. We wish to raise our assessment cap 20% from $2.1 million to $2.52 million, which will be phased in incrementally starting in July 2025. The last time we raised our cap was in 2017. And this fiscal year is the first time we reached the top of the cap. Our last assessment increase was thus 8 years ago. Since that time, our operational costs have gone up, which has largely consist of our salaries and benefits for our uniformed and unionized public safety officers and our sanitation team, which are members of the Doe Fund. A second item that we have before your committee is to change the formula by which we assess property owners. We have now, till now, only assessed residential owners $1 per year. We propose assessing residential square footage, but at a rate considerably reduced from our commercial assessment rate and not to exceed 9.8 cents per square foot. Note that bid assessments are levied from property owners, not tenants, and that virtually all of the buildings within our district are mixed use with retail and service uses on the lower levels of the buildings and residential uses above. Thus, many of the same property owners assessed for the commercial space in their buildings will be assessed for the residential space as well, so there'll be a slight reduction in our commercial assessment rate. We also are including in our formula assessment on vacant land within our district. When buildings are torn down, there is a large gap of time that because the buildings are considered inactive, assessments have not been charged to these parcels. During this period, our existing formula would collectively charge all the other property owners in the district for those fees, and now that would be shared, and under this proposed provision, our formula will only assess we'll be assessing parcels while they're considered vacant and based upon the lot size. Our board of directors includes 4 residents within our district, and each played a leading role in developing our assessment formula. They recognize how integral our services are to the quality of life in our district and how the enjoyment of their living space is dependent upon the vitality of the businesses that line the storefronts of Madison Avenue. We've taken care to make sure the residential assessment is modest. To illustrate this, the average 2-bedroom apartment in Manhattan is 792 square feet. The maximum annual Madison Avenue bid assessment for the space would only be $77.71 a year. The assessment for a 2,000 square foot apartment, which was quite large, would be at less than $200 annually. Because of the strong work of the bid of the last 25 years and care of our assessment working group in creating an equitable assessment formula, we have not received a single objection to increasing our assessment cap, and these amendments to our district plan outreach included numerous first-class mailings, public meeting at the Roosevelt House Public Policy Institute, and the like. I'd like to conclude by thanking Councilmember Powers and his team for leadership and guidance as a member of our board, as well as to the wonderful team at NYC Department of Small Business Services for their remarkable stewardship of the bid program. Special kudos to Commissioner Gross, Deputy Commissioner Brown, Bid Executive Program Director Emily Edwards, Senior Bid Information Analyst Michael Malamed, and we so much appreciate all they do to strengthen New York City. Also be glad to answer any questions you may have. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Councilman Powers, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
Just a quick, I don't know if my microphone's working here. thank you for the testimony, and I want to just say that I am in support of it, as you know, but more importantly, I want to say just a deep thank you always for your partnership in my district. Fantastic partner, great advocate for all the businesses and the amazing area that you represent that is so essential to Manhattan and our economy. And I know you have a tough job with a lot of people throwing things at you constantly, but I just want to take a moment, especially on the holidays, to say thank you for all the work you do. And I also see that I am joined by other bid directors from Manhattan, including those in my district and those nearby my district, but not in it. And I just want to say thank you to all of them. I see Dan and Tom and Samara and other people here. I'm sure I missed some. But just an opportunity to say thank you to all you guys for the work that you do. Hard jobs, lots going on in Manhattan right now, but an essential part of the infrastructure here in the city to make sure that we have public safety, sanitation, all services we need. So just a very moment to say thank you to everyone here. Thanks so much.
Councilmember Brewer.
I too want to thank you and thank all the bids for your hard work. I have a question for SBS. So some of them are going up small amounts and some of them like 3 million from your listing. So the ones that are going up a lot, all of the real estate companies, do they completely pass on that difference? In other words, to the commercials? To the commercial, in other words, understandably, people need more money, costs are going up, and we love the bids. So but I just want to understand, is it probably true that the number, in some cases, it's a $3 million increase? I assume that will still be continually passed on to the commercials that are, if there are commercials, on the strip where the bid is. Is that correct?
Well, we can look into that. I mean, it varies by the district, so not all landlords pass those costs on to their tenants, so we would have to investigate more to confirm that.
It's my understanding that they do. And the other thing is, I wish SBS would take more of a position, Councilmember Powers, and I agree with the commercial rent tax. That commercial rent tax from Murray up to 96th Street in Manhattan is a killer, and with congestion pricing, it's even going to be worse. All these bids in that area know that. So I would love the administration to look at that again, to say, we do not need to unfairly tax these, particularly the storefronts. I'd like to have, can you take that back and have some discussion?
Definitely, we can take that back to our leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman Brewer. Okay, seeing any more, nothing from my colleagues. Thank you very much. We're now going to hear public testimony on resolution number 11. All the registered witnesses will be participating virtually via Zoom. We'll call the names one by one. Please remember to keep your testimony to 2 minutes. And you may begin your testimony when the sergeant starts the clock, which they will tell you. We're going to start with Alfeka Mutardi.
You may begin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Alfeka Mutardi. I'm a macroeconomist with the Coalition for a National Infrastructure Bank. I support resolution number 11, asking members of Congress to pass their bill, H.R. 4052, because this legislation will bring up to $322 billion over 10 years in new financing to the state of New York and to New York City to finance affordable housing, transit, lead-free water, the power grid, and many more other projects. Congress members, U.S. Congress members already signed on to this bill include Adriano Espaillat, Daniel Goldman, Gerald Nadler, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Patrick Ryan, Thomas Suozzi, Paul Tonko, Richie Torres, and Nadia Velasquez. We want to bring on more members of Congress as this legislation is reintroduced into the next Congress, and your resolution will give much more support for that. So I urge the Finance Committee to pass this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have Dr. Nomi Prinz.
Good morning, thank you. I'll make this brief. I'm Dr. Nomi Prinz, a macroeconomist with the National Infrastructure Bank Coalition, a native New Yorker and former managing director of Goldman Sachs. I've also testified before the Senate. I urge you today to not just support resolution number 11 calling upon the U.S. Congress to pass and the President to sign H.R. 4052, the National Infrastructure Bank Act of 2023, but to affirm former FDR-era leadership and financing strategies for the nation by advocating for this off-budget mechanism that invokes no new debt or taxes and is used by every other G20 nation except the United States. New York has a backlog of infrastructure needs in search of financing that will not come from Wall Street banks or the muni bond market. 10% of New York bridges, to name just one infrastructure necessity, are deemed structurally deficient. The only way to substantively grow the economy and the job market in New York and for the country versus the size of our debt is to create a national infrastructure bank with the financial might to get it done. Please pass resolution number 11. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Now we have testimony from Stan Forchek.
May begin.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker and members of the committee. My name is Stan Forzik. I am on the advisory board for the Coalition for National Infrastructure Bank. I'm also a retired executive from Amtrak, spent over 30 years there. I've worked with Con Edison, Metro North, Long Island Railroad, and a lot of other organizations within the city of New York, and also the Albany Transit Authority. I also retired from an energy consulting firm based out of Philadelphia. And I want to take a different approach. I like what Dr. Prinz has said, and we all believe in that. Every member of the coalition believes in that. But I want you to take and look within as to what's going on within the country, and especially in New York. I mean, there's a lot of projects going on. You have the Gateway Project, you have the East Side Connection, you have a lot of transportation, very major projects going on. But the smaller projects need help. Think of it this way. Infrastructure took off in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, and it was built for a lifespan of 50 to 75 years. That is approaching now 100 years old. You had an event within the city several weeks ago where a subway line was stopped, a train was stopped. We had to get passengers out through a tunnel. It was all caused by a substation which was 100 years old. You have to think about where we are in relationship to when everything was built. Everything was built many years ago. There's a lot of substations that are out there that are 100 years old. I can tell you when I took over Amtrak as Director of Finance for Northeast Corridor Operations, all of our substations were over 100 years old, and they all had to be replaced. The National Infrastructure Bank.
Your time has expired. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Now we have Gene Binder.
You may begin.
Gene, you there?
Sorry, I had a little trouble unmuting myself. My name is Gene Binder, and I am a resident of the Bronx. I was a New York City public school teacher for 38 years, and for most of those years, I was the UFT chapter leader at my school. Don't want this to be too long, but just want to give a few examples of infrastructure needs in the Bronx. Just this week, we had a tremendous water main break. It was a 120-year-old pipe that went and caused a lot of destruction in that neighborhood. There are several areas of the Bronx that I know about where sewage will back up into people's houses if there is a rainstorm. And these are examples of deferred maintenance. And if the infrastructure bank was a reality, these kind of needs could be addressed. The Bronx has the highest hospitalization rate for asthma in New York City, and air pollution is one of the main causes. The infrastructure bank would be a source of funds to remedy the pollution in the Bronx if it was a reality. And homelessness is a tremendous problem for the Bronx as well as many other parts of the city. The South Bronx has one of the highest rates in the city. And 1 in 3 Bronx residents there are below the poverty level. Building the amount of housing that we need will require more funds than any level of the government right now is willing or able to provide. But the National Infrastructure Bank would be a source of those funds. If it was a reality, I urge the committee to support the resolution to make the National Infrastructure Bank a reality. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony, Gene. Now we are joined for testimony by Assemblymember Joanne Simon.
Thank you, and good morning, and thank you for your grace in my delay here. You can blame the MTA. Why not? So anyway, good morning. It's a pleasure to testify before you. I've been working on talking about the National Infrastructure Bank for a number of years. I think other members of the group have testified previously, so I don't want to repeat that, but I don't know what they said. So let me just talk about housing. I can talk particularly about my district, but some of these issues are certainly present throughout the state, city and the state. First of all, the number of housing, the need for new housing, and the cost of new housing. So right now in my district, we have had massive amounts of housing that is not even remotely affordable because it costs too much to build on the private dollar. And so downtown Brooklyn, Dumbo, Vinegar Hill, massive amounts of housing. Gowanus, we're doing a little better. We have a lot of cleanup there. Now we're looking at the Brooklyn Marine Terminal and whether or not that can support housing. That creates many sustainability issues. But one of the big issues that also affects housing that we haven't really dealt with as a city is water and sewer, right? We have a big issue with aging sewers and aging water pipes. And that all affects whether we can build, when people are living there, whether they're going to have the services they need, and whether or not they're endangered by the fact that our infrastructure under the ground is not supporting our infrastructure above the ground. So the National Infrastructure Bank can create $5 trillion worth of funds to go towards these needs. The Infrastructure Act that was passed in Congress is only going to last another 2 years in terms of money, and it was only roughly 10% of what the country needed. New York State has gotten a lot of money from that, but it's a drop in the bucket. So obviously this is focused on housing. We're talking about transportation, talking about BQE, talking about everything. All of these things can be addressed directly through the National Infrastructure Bank, and that's one of the reasons why I support this resolution, and I thank you for your time and attention today.
Does anyone have any questions for the Assembly member? Assemblymember, do we have an idea of how much money we'd be able to get back just for New York?
Well, it would depend on what New York applies for, right? Because basically you're looking to borrow like you would borrow from a bank, but you would borrow at a very reduced rate, and the bank would work with you in terms of payment. One of the points I like to remind people of is the last time we did this was through the Depression and the war years. And not one borrower throughout the Depression defaulted. And as you know, during the Great Depression, cities and towns, counties were all very strapped. This is what got us the infrastructure we're using today. They built a lot of things in the 30s, and those are things we look to preserve, but also those are things that are wearing out. And so I think what's very important is that people have nothing to fear about this. It really will generate this income. It's not subject to political battles, right, in Congress. Or even in the state legislature. There's no political battles here. You want the money, you present your application, it gets funded, you do the work, you pay it off at a greatly reduced rate, but the value of what it is you just built is paying dividends already for you as a local entity. And these are only government, a public infrastructure projects, so we're not talking about private projects here.
Thank you, Assemblymember. I appreciate you elevating this issue to me personally and being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, we got to wait for Billy Martin so we can vote on everything. Okay, we have some time before Billy comes back to take the vote, so we have a testimony from Paperboy Love Prince. You can begin when you're ready.
Hello? Okay. Good morning. Hi, I'm Paperboy Love Prince, coming from Brooklyn, New York. I'm an artist, an activist, and founder of the Paperboy Prince Love Gallery in Bushwick, Brooklyn. So many folks got chewed up and spit out in this city during the pandemic. And it feels like we've forgotten about them. People losing their jobs, their homes, and businesses, all while we've allowed major corporations to receive record profits. New York City's budget is larger than 47 out of 50 states. But with all that money spent, it seems like the problems are often made worse and the issues never get resolved. When it comes to the average person, it seems like they're just a number that doesn't matter and will never have hope of getting heard through the bureaucracy that is the NYC government. But somehow, the same players and usual suspects get all the opportunity and special consideration. In 2015, when the city of New York committed $850 million to address mental health issues with its initiative Thrive NYC, which was ran by former Mayor Bill de Blasio's wife, why did it seem like the mental health crisis only got worse? That's my point. $850 million to address mental health issues, and who did it go to? How do you vet them and track their goals? Why does it seem like it's always folks from well outside the community with very little knowledge on the true issues of our areas that come in with their reports in offices, and now folks are working from home, and they get large contracts to help, but it only makes things worse? Not anymore. This clown show stops now. We need to do a better job of getting that money in the hands of real people on the ground. We've lost connection with the people. We've lost our sense of love. We've become so beholden to banks and big money that we're separated more than ever before, working longer hours than ever before, so much that folks in NYC today barely speak to their neighbors. Our budgeting sucks.
Please conclude.
I'm getting to my conclusion. Our budgeting sucks, as does the follow through and tracking. In conclusion, how do we have a city budget that's larger than 94% of all states in America, but still have such a homelessness crisis? Why are so many folks going hungry here every day? Despite over $100 billion in resources, New York City remains the most expensive city in the United States, with 60% of residents saying they struggle to make ends meet. I'm concluding.
Thank you.
$38 billion on education, and yet 65% of NYC public school students aren't proficient in math or reading by the 8th grade. We need real solutions. So to my issue with Introduction 1090, while I think it's great to support growth of areas like Times Square and 34th Street, we can't keep overlooking areas like Myrtle Broadway and Jamaica Queens. It's important to reinvest in places like this to help foster more economic growth in emerging areas that are essential to growing our culture. And to Resolution 0011.
Thank you.
While I think it's great to reinvest in our infrastructure.
Thank you. You're over time. We have to vote. We appreciate your testimony. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right.
Prince. Okay, now we're going to have Billy Martin call the roll so we can vote.
Good morning, William Martin, Committee Clerk. Roll call vote, Committee on Finance. All items are coupled. Chair Brannan.
I vote aye.
Ayala.
Aye.
Powers. Lewis.
Aye.
Brooks Powers.
I vote aye.
Brewer.
Aye.
Farias.
I vote aye.
Hanks.
I vote aye.
Hudson.
Aye.
Osei.
I vote aye.
Sanchez. Stevens.
Aye.
Thank you. Williams. 1.
I vote aye.
Salam.
I vote aye.
Just for the record, that was Councilmember Williams I voted, not Councilmember 1. Carr.
No on Resolution 11, and aye on the rest.
Councilmember Moya.
I vote aye.
Thank you. By a vote, with a vote of 15 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, no abstentions, all items have been adopted by the committee, with Resolution 11 being adopted by the committee by a vote of 14 in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, and no abstentions. All items are still adopted.
Okay, thank you, Billy. With that, this hearing is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.